Okay, today I have Andrew from SaintAndrewTV, and I'm going to show Andrew my race guns. And we started off camera a little bit. We've also we've both checked these guns to verify they are all unloaded. There's no ammunition on the table. These are laser cartridges like snap caps, so we have already verified off camera. So anyway, that's the one I was showing you a few minutes ago.
Yep.
That's my dry fire gun. It's got no firing pin in it, so I can dry fire as much as I want, and
Yeah.
you're welcome to as well. And just that's how you do it.
Yeah. I don't know if you show people, but yeah, there's no firing pin in it.
This
That's
is a Uberti. It's the one Uberti, the first one I did,
nice.
and you're welcome to feel the action on that.
Yeah. Force of habit. Yeah. Well, I've noticed with all your guns that everything just runs really smoothly. There's really not much, manipulation to it. Everything kind of just contours to what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the one thing I've noticed every time I picked one up. Like even when I was checking them for ammo or to see if they were unloaded, everything just was in sync. That was the main takeaway from it. They're smooth.
They're not. My machine work on them isn't the prettiest.
It's
It's a learning process,
It's the efficacy
but,
we're looking for.
Yeah, the functionality is good. And this is a Cimarron. Now that the hammer's heavier in that one. I haven't lightened it up. It's almost stock, as a matter of fact. So I mean it's lighter than your Colts, obviously, but
Well,
you can feel it. It's not much lighter, is it?
No, it feels like to me a stock Pieta. I know Pietas have a really light spring in them. So, I mean, like if you draw the Colt, you'll know. Like your thumb will be sore tomorrow. The Uberti's not as bad. That one feels like more like a stock Pieta.
Mm-hmm.
Which one of these is a Pieta? I know that.
Yeah, this one's a Pieta. That one's a Pieta Heritage.
Okay.
This is a Pieta Great Western 2. This one in my holster is a Pieta Great. Actually, I don't know if I've shown you that one yet. This is my favorite gun. Take a look at that one. That's the one I did the quad shot. The quad shot off the belt I did with that a couple of videos, and the fastest triple shot I've ever done with that one. It's just particularly smooth the way it turned out.
Actually, one of the questions I wanted to ask you is the octagonal barrel on that. Or is it hexagonal?
It's octagonal. That's just the way it came. I don't know if it's the model or... It came as a Great Western 2 with no extra name on it, so I don't know if it's a particular one or just the way that one came. But yeah, I'm not crazy about it. It just came like that. It adds a little bit of weight to the gun.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind having a round barrel, but it's different. It's pretty. It doesn't add that much weight, So.
Well, it's unique for sure. The first time I saw it, it just didn't look right, and I'm like,
it's period incorrect.
Right. I was like looking at it, I was like, what's wrong with it? Like there's something there, and I saw how the light was coming down. I saw the reflection off the barrel. I was like, oh, it's not round, and that was interesting to me. I was like, I'm sure it helps with something. I'm sure the gunsmiths out there will tell you what octagonal barrels do for you.
Yeah, if they just did it to be different, or if it saves a step in manufacturing, I don't know what it is, but
it might.
It's
that
pretty.
Might be how it cut.
It's pretty. It's interesting they never did that in the single action army anyway.
Yeah,
but it looks kind of good.
No, it looks really good. it was unique to see a single action army with a octagonal barrel on it. That was just out of nowhere.
A little different. This is the dead man's hand. I got the grips all covered up, but that's a 38, so you notice it's heavier. It's significantly heavier and it's slower to draw, but that's the trade-off for shooting 38.
Sure is pretty.
73.
That's the engraved one, right?
Yeah, I like the looks of that one.
Yeah.
And this is the 51 Navy. And you have one of those that's stock. Go ahead and cock it.
Yeah, it feels a lot different. I have one sitting in there. I actually have to get to that one. Nobody knows that I have that yet. It's be a little secret.
I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. I mean, it's gonna be a video anyway. But yeah, feeling the, just the difference between even a Pieta, which has lightened springs, to what you've done to this. you know, the customization that you've put into this, it's night and day different, and that's the main thing I'm trying to get at is like, it feels smooth. It feels like there's no effort that goes into it, and I guess if you get the grasp of it, because the effort now comes with body motion. But yeah,
But what's kind of neat about it, it doesn't have any machining on it. So on the outside, it looks just like your gun, except you have a different barrel length and stuff. But I mean, the leads aren't extended, the notches aren't altered at all.
I saw that. I noticed that the leads and the notches aren't dug like you see on all these. And you know, it's clear. Like you pull out a stock gun,
it's kind of obvious,
such as this. I mean, minus the fluting, you see that the notches and the leads are, you know, small.
Pretty small.
And that's, you know, that's pretty much the most notable thing for me if you see those big leads.
And there's the Remington. And ironically, that gun turned into a race gun easier than these others, and the hammer is lighter and it's more reliable. And I don't know why it is exactly, but it definitely has you notice how light the hammer is?
Yeah.
That's and yet it
is that, did you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I lightened the hammer and I did the race bolt and I extended the leads on it. The notches are deep enough from the factory, so the notches are left alone, just the leads are extended.
That's a heavy ass gun is what it is. Yeah, that's, what is that, a 7.5?
It's 8 inches actually.
Is it an 8?
Yeah.
I knew one of them had the weird, like the odd 8, 7.5, 5.5, and 4 3/4 is what I remember usually.
And this is the Mitchell, which is a Uberti, to my understanding, although it doesn't say Uberti on it anywhere. That's the one I bought at the store, used.
Okay.
And let's put some cartridges in that so you can.
Well, that's I see the raised hammer on that too, so you can swipe at it faster. It's
significantly easier to fan. And we might be using that for our video coming up. So I wanted you to go ahead and get a feel for it. And this hammer is heavier than the others. It's not quite stock, but there you go.
Yep. Man, it's got some weight to it.
It does. It's actually, that gun has 2 ounces of lead in the grip.
I was just going to say there's some...
And it's balanced weight too.
Yeah, I was just going to say it...
You felt it right away.
As soon as you handed it to me, I was like, there's a noticeable difference. It felt like the Remington.
Yeah.
But, you know, the Remington's got another, 3 and odd something inches of barrel on it. So, yeah, just so light.
Like that.
Yeah.
The difference is that weight is front heavy. This is real front heavy, and that weight is back here, so it's balanced.
You can feel it, like, I'm assuming it's somewhere in here. And you can feel it, like, it keeps it balanced. It keeps it right on level plane. So if you're looking out there, you're not going to move, especially if you're running something light, like blanks or cowboy loads. This thing's not going to really move. You could do really anything with this, especially, I mean, it's heavy. You're not going to want to carry this around with you, for hours at a time. But it certainly feel like for like exhibition style shooting. It certainly feels better than a stock gun.
What's interesting is it comes out of the holster really fast, even though it's heavy. And I think it's because the weight is in the back. Like I've drawn this probably faster than any of my guns. And I think it's because the weight is in the back. It just wants to rock out. But if we end up trying that double shot later, that's the motion.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask about the weights. It means it comes out of the holster easier. How are the weights set in there? How is the lead set in the grip? Is it flat?
It's flat, and it kind of takes up this area back. It's low and flat, right back here.
Okay, so what I'm thinking is when you draw it, the grip's going to want to fall backwards because there's more weight back here than up here, and it's just so it's probably just popping into a firing position because of how the weight is actually distributed through the grip there. That's nice.
It wants to rock right out.
Yeah.
It's got a real natural. Well, thanks for looking at my race guns, Andrew. Let's let's try shooting them in the next video.
I'm up for that.
All righty.